Node.js interview questions involve a stack of web development technologies. A fresher or experienced person should have hands-on on core web development technologies to understand and eligible for Node.js interview. Also, the person should have a basic understanding of programming. Here are usually asked interview questions on Node.js with comprehensive answers. Please have a glance at our playlist on Node.js interview for all the videos. Let's move towards questions. Question: what is Node.js? Node.js registered is a JavaScript runtime built on Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. V8 is Google's open-source high-performance JavaScript engine, written in C++. Node.js empower us to build JavaScript applications that run outside the scope of the browser, which means you can run JavaScript either locally on your laptop or in a large cluster on the cloud. Node.js works across platforms. It is lightweight, fast, and the Node Package Manager, NPM, gives us access to the largest source of open-source libraries all over the world. Node.js is single-threaded, which handles many actions quickly. Next question: what is NPM in Node.js? Node.js package ecosystem, NPM, is the largest ecosystem of open-source libraries in the world. NPM stands for Node Package Manager. It is a command in Node.js environment. The use of NPM command is installing and uninstalling packages locally and globally, fixing permissions, updating global and local packages, creating modules, publishing packages, versioning, etc. Next question: why is Node.js so fast as compared to Apache? In Apache, every request is single-threaded. That means every request we send to the Apache server will be on hold until server releases it. In Apache, the single thread waits for the file system to finish reading files before it can do anything else. And if we have too many requests, we have to use too many threads in the whole system. As a result, most of them will be in waiting state. On the other hand, Node.js is single-threaded. All of the users are sharing the same thread. Events are raised and register in an event queue and then handled in the sequence that they were raised. Of Node.js thread is called non-blocking, event-driven I/O. We have a single thread that will respond to events in the order that they are raised. This thread behaves asynchronously because it does not have to wait for resources to finish doing what they're doing before our thread can do anything else. And if have to, then only the single thread will serve all the requests asynchronously. Here, this single thread is performing in multitasking fashion. As a result, with minimum use of the resources, we get faster operation. Node.js is asynchronous, which means that it can do more than one thing. This ability to multitask is what makes Node.js so fast and one of the reasons so many developers are building their web applications with the Node.js. Next question: how global object is different in Node.js from global in browser? JavaScript runs compared to the browser to Node.js API. For instance, in browser globally available object is the window, but in Node.js API, global is the globally available object, as shown in the below example. So, many of our developers think that both the objects are but that's not true. They are similar in terms of nature, except in case of storing variables. For example, observe the output of the below code snippet. First one runs on the browser and the second one is running on Node.js API. Node.js works a little bit different than the storing variables. The reason behind the fact that variable str is not available to global is that every Node.js file that we create is its own module. Any variable that we create in a Node.js file is scoped only to that module. That means that our variables are not added to the way that they are in the browser. Next question: what is backtick character in Node.js? In Node.js we can write a string in between these backticks. These are not single quotes. These are the backtick character. This is usually found under the escape key of your keyboard. If we want to include the value of a variable, all we need to use is a $sign and a couple of curly brackets. In between the curly brackets, we can place the variable that we want to use. For example, see the below code snippet. Next question. The current directory that we're in using Node.js. An important object that is accessible to us globally is the process object. It can be accessed from anywhere, and it contains functionality that allows us to interact with information about the current process instance. We can utilize environmental information, read environment variables, communicate with the terminal, or parent processes, through standard input and standard output. We can even exit the current process. This object essentially gives us a way to work with the current process instance. One of the things that we can do with the process object is to collect all the information from the terminal, or command prompt when the application starts. All of this information will be saved in a variable called process.arg, which stands for the argument variables used to start the process. Process array. It contains a path to Node, and a path to the current running file. It also contains user-provided command line arguments and save them sequentially in an array. If we save above code in one app.js file and run that file from terminal, we can notice the following below code in a JS file and execute it from the command line using this command node app.js name him, and you will understand the use of the process.arg. Thank you for watching this video. See other video for more Node.js interview questions. Also visit questionswiki.com for detailed Node.js interview questions and answers.